What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Primos Chidos. I am your host, Jules, and of course, I am here with the boy, Brandon.
What's up? How you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Steve's not here with us today, but he'll be back. He's just taking care of business more important than podcasting. But yeah.
Damn.
Um.
How you
So
doing, Brandon?
I'm doing well. How
Your
are you
birthday
doing?
just passed, huh?
It did just pass. It was on Tuesday.
How was it?
It's pretty good. I don't really do anything on my birthday, so
Really?
yeah.
You don't like celebrating your birthday?
Uh, I guess not, but I probably should learn to. Right.
Hmm.
Next year for sure, I'll throw a big party.
Is it more of like you just don't like celebrating it, or?
I don't know. No, I don't really like the attention. I
Uh,
get a little shy. So,
Aw.
but yeah, next year for sure I'll throw a big rave.
Ooh. So you turned what, 22?
22 on the 22.
Did you feel any different from 20 turning 21?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you know how people say that they feel like 17 for most of their 20s?
Mhm.
I feel the same way, but this is the first year where I don't feel that way. I don't really feel 17 anymore. I
Oh.
wouldn't say I feel 22, but then again, what even is feeling 22? I just don't feel 17 anymore.
It's your
Which
it's your second year and you're adult. You're young adult. You're not a
yeah,
teen anymore.
yeah. So maybe it's that. Yeah, yeah. What about you? Your birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
How old are you turning?
I'm turning 26.
Damn. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay.
How does that feel?
um I don't know. I feel like I haven't really thought about it much. Because I think when I turned 25, I feel like that was a bigger thing for me because I was like, oh, I'm almost 30 or whatever. And now I'm 26. But I feel like this year has been like at least from 25 to now being almost being 26 has been really good in some aspects of it. I feel like I could have done more, which I think now I'm gonna try to do more. I know like the new year's also coming and it's kind of weird because I turned 26 and then the new year happens and then I'm like running to like be 27.
Oh, I get what you mean.
So it's like a weird like I guess thing because I can it's like I experience it for only like a couple like days and then it's the new year.
Do you feel
Um,
like pressure turning 26 like I gotta my 20s gotta count because I'm always or like
mm,
these years before 30 have to count because I'm always
yeah.
almost turning 30.
Not really. I feel like honestly, once I turned like 24 and I was gonna be like 25, I stopped kind of caring of like at what age I'm at in my life. I think a lot of it, especially because like we all went through like the pandemic, so like I lost 2 years of like I guess being where I wanted to be, right? And so I kind of now I've tried not to put too much pressure on it and being like, well, I'll get there when I get there.
Mhm.
And I don't know, for me, I feel like being 20, at least being in my 20s is still really young. Cuz I compare it to like my parents, right? Like my mom had me like probably when she was 24. And I'm kind of like I'm not ready to like have a family or like even have kids right now. I think I really enjoy like myself and my own time and like being able to like go to places by myself and kind of like do those things. So I don't know. I feel like I'm really excited. I'm more excited of like turning 30 actually,
Really?
which is making me a lot more excited to like turn 30. I'm hoping that like by then I am kind of like at the beginning of where I want to be. Um because I do feel like being 20 or like being 26 is still really young. And it's a different time. I'm
Mhm.
like, it's different times. Things are fucking expensive now. Like, um, so it's a different world than what like my parents went through.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I'm kind of excited. I feel like I always love birthdays.
Mhm.
At least for me, I've always felt them like they're special.
Mhm.
That's why I always tried to understand people who don't like celebrating them or like don't like doing anything, which I mean is understandable, right? To each like their own.
Mhm.
But I love like celebrating everyone because it's like it's just another day of like you living in your life.
Are you doing anything special for your
For my
26th?
birthday, I'm actually going to a rave.
That's nice. That's nice.
I'm going up to San Francisco, so I'm gonna see all of my friends up there. It's actually in San Jose, but I'm probably gonna spend like maybe a day in San Francisco. Because then I have to come back to work.
That's cool.
So probably gonna do that. And it's cool. I just really like the atmosphere that I always go to, like when I go with to raves with my friends. So it's always fun. It's always dope. It's always like a good time.
That's good.
Um, and Yeah. Well, I spent last year here, which was cool. Like I got to like invite my friends and my family and stuff. But I don't know, it just like the concert kind of just fell on the day of my birthday and I was kind of like I'm down to go.
Is who are you gonna go see?
Who I'm gonna go see? His name is Deoro, or Dioro, as like some people call him. I don't know how you probably say his name,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna see him. And he's really good. He plays a lot of. He's like a Latino like
Mhm.
rave artist or EDM artist. And he's really really good. He does like a mixture of like Spanish music and like English music and like EDM, and it's all like combined. So it's really really good. He does really good music. He just came out with an album, I think, sometime this year, which was pretty good. I've been listening to it like nonstop because
Yeah.
I'm for sure he's for sure gonna play that like
Mhm.
there. So I'm excited to see him. I saw him in at EDC
Mhm.
and he was really really good. I only got to see a little bit because we got there a little late. But he was really good from like the part that
Have
I
you
saw.
always liked the rave scene,
Yeah. Um,
or did you kind of
I
grow into it?
I kind of well, I kind of just like fell into it. So the first artist that I saw, his name is Keizo. Shout out to Keizo.
Mhm.
And I saw him in San Francisco with my friends, and my friends were all gonna go. I was the only one who hadn't bought like a ticket. And then one of like my friends invited me, and he was like, "Oh, you should like come because we're all going. We're all gonna be there."
Mhm.
Um, and I was like, "Sure, like, I'll go, why not?" Like, just to spend time with my friends. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go." And they ended up going, and I ended up, like, loving it. Like, the
Dope.
atmosphere was really nice. I had a really good time with everyone. Like, the stories just, like the stories after it are just, like,
Mhm.
funny and, like, to tell. Because some shit always goes down.
Mhm.
Um, and then from there, I think a week later, I went to another one, which was, like, like, mini festival. So there was, like, multiple artists. And then from there, I went to another rave with a rave festival in San Jose with like my friends because it was gonna be our first time going to a 2 day festival.
Mhm.
And then from there, I just kept going.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, and I just really like the music. I think for me, I just really really love music.
Mhm.
And I know people are like it's people pop music or whatever,
Mhm.
but I feel like I like the fact that you can like make music out of like just like different beats and
I
stuff,
get what you mean.
and it just comes together and it sounds good.
I get what you mean.
And then I mean when you're there, you have a feeling like music makes you feel right, like emotions and all these things. And I feel like EDM music kind of does the same thing. There's some that like don't have lyrics and just like they're nice to like listen to, like just the beats and like the what would you call it, like the syncs and all that
I get
stuff.
what you mean.
um and then there's other that actually have like lyrics and then they like make you feel like
Mhm.
emotional and like all these things. So they're really really cool. I like
It's a vibe.
going. Yeah, it's a vibe.
That's
It's a
cool.
vibe. And I think when you go with a group, with like a good friend group, it's always a really nice time. um the atmosphere is usually good. I mean, not until recently it started getting a little weird with like
Uh,
the crowds and
yeah.
everything. Um but I mean, it's been going pretty well. So
I've
we'll
never
see how
been
this
to a
one.
concert, so I'll have to go check one out.
I was thinking I was gonna take you guys to see this one artist. His name is Gesture. He's
Mhm.
also really, really good, and I feel like
Yeah.
you guys would like him. So whenever he comes to LA,
We'll
we'll
go.
go.
We'll go.
We'll go.
You so you're 26, I'm 22.
Mhm.
Me turning 26, you'll be turning 30. So how does it feel to be how was the journey from 22 to 26?
22 to 26.
Yeah.
Oh, like how I was when I felt when I turned 22.
And then to 26. Was like
Um, you know what's funny is well, cause I was just graduating college. Um, cause I graduated in 2019. So how old was I? Yeah. No wait. I was gonna turn 23 at the end of the year. I don't know. I can't remember. Can't do math. I'm sorry. But I think I was 22 when I graduated. And I feel like I was at a very like sad place because like I had mentioned to you when we were driving here about like how I went through a breakup. And I was just in a really like depressed and like sad place.
Mhm.
Um, at the time, I mean, I was happy that I graduated.
Mhm.
I was happy that I had finally done it. I was like, I was finally over school. Like, I like school, but it was kind of like it was a lot. It was just like super overwhelming. Just doing work. for like how many years that I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, "Ugh, I'm kind of just out. I'm done." So I also took a break. I was like, it's gonna be my last summer. Like, and then after that, I'm gonna work the rest of my life.
Mhm.
So it was interesting. I feel like I was. I mean, how I said, like, I feel like I was really, really young. I didn't know what I was doing.
Do you
I don't
see me
know
that way? Do you see?
that
Uh,
you're
well,
like,
because I've always known of you. I haven't
mhm.
always known you.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, do I seem very young to
You do.
you? Really?
Yeah. I don't see you too young just because like I see you with my brother.
Hmm.
And like he's not that much younger than me. Like you guys are like my younger
He's
sibling like
24, right?
siblings,
So
yeah.
22, 24. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are just like my younger siblings.
Mm,
I see you guys as but I don't see you guys as like little kids. Like
mhm.
I see you guys like we're in the same age group. We're 20. We're in our 20s. We're in
That's
different ages
interesting.
of our 20s.
Do you think it'd be different if if like your brother was like your sister? Because I don't see my sister that way. I don't see her as like a. I feel like I still see her as like a little kid, even though
Really?
she's 18. So, and I'm only 22.
Mhm.
So I feel like I still see her as a little kid. I it's hard for me to see her as like 18, like
Yeah.
an adult, because it's like weird, because it's like all of a sudden I'm just having like conversations with her when like I remember like I couldn't have conversation with
Yeah.
her because she was just like actually a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
do you ever feel that way
yeah.
about?
I don't know. It was like and I've talked to this with Stevie before where it's like there's just something where it was just like we just started like talking and like it didn't feel like we were in different like age like that much of an age
Yeah.
gap anymore. Um and I don't know, I feel like especially during the pandemic, like I only had him to
Also,
like
you
hang
only
out
talk
with.
to him.
So
Yeah.
I only would ever like talk to him. Like
Uh-huh.
we would always just do stuff. I mean, you would come over and
Yeah.
like it was always just the three of
That's
us.
how this podcast started.
That's
Yeah.
how it started. And
Yeah.
that's how I met Brandon
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
He had always been around, but I had never really had a conversation with him until he
Mhm.
started coming over like during was it really during the pandemic? I mean
I
it
mean,
was
I'd always, because I went to college, me and Steve would carpool to college. So, like,
yeah.
I'd always see you, say
Hmm.
hi, or like, and I always knew you existed, but I never like talked to you
Yeah.
until,
I feel like it was also because I was away, like, I was
yeah,
in San
you were in San
Francisco,
Francisco. Yeah.
like, and I wasn't really around. I would only ever come around during vacation.
Mhm.
And for the most part, I doubt that I would see
Yeah, that
you.
and the age gap was a little bigger back then. Not that
Yeah.
it was actually bigger, but it felt bigger because I
Yeah.
was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was also just that it was just like I wasn't really around for like 4 years.
Mhm.
So I never really had a conversation with you or like with my like I like with me and Steve when I was gone to when I went to San Francisco. Um, we would just send each other memes. Like we would
Mm,
send like tweets, like
mm.
things that we would see, like the same thing that we do now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would do that. And then not until yeah, and I remember someone told me this. Someone was like, someone told me that like you hang out so much with your brother or something. And then I told Stevie that, and because they were like, I love that like the relationship that you guys have,
Mhm.
and that you guys are always just hanging out with each other. And then I told my brother that, and he's like, "It's because you were gone for 4 years. Like
Mm.
we never really had conversations as like now that you're now home, and
Yeah.
like especially when we were stuck in the pandemic, like we just started having like bunch of
So you
conversations."
moved to San Francisco
Hmm.
for 4 years. Do you you've talked about it before that like you really loved that experience and that one day you kind of wanted to live in San Francisco. Would
Yeah.
you recommend that everybody at some point in their lives, if they can, that they should move away from their hometown for a little bit?
Um, I feel like if it's really something you want to do, like if there's an area where you feel like you want to experience and like live in it, then I
Hmm.
would say yes. If you're like say like you love LA and you're like no, like I'd rather just be here kind of
Hmm.
thing, I would still say travel, like maybe
Hmm.
still explore like other cities and other like states and countries. But that's only if you would want to like leave. Cuz I
Yeah.
get that it's also hard to move
Yeah.
away. That's why like I haven't really moved away cuz I
Hmm.
know it's going to be especially San Francisco is like fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Um but I feel like it's more up to like if you really want to. I feel like I recommend more to like visit another city for sure. Um whether that's here in California or like somewhere in a different state. I haven't really gone out of state yet. I've only ever explored California for the most part. I mean, I've gone to like Nevada because I have family there,
Yeah.
but besides that,
Yeah.
like I haven't really like gone anywhere. I know I for sure want to go like to like Oregon or like Washington.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I want to go more up.
Yeah.
And then I kind of want to go to Canada too. So I want to go
Same.
more up.
Same.
I
Yeah.
want to go more up. I don't know if I think the only thing in the East Coast would be like New York, that I can think of because I have family there
Mhm.
too. Um, but I mostly just want to go up more up
Are you a
from
city
here.
person? Like, are you like you want to go see different cities?
Um, I would like to go see more cities. I just don't like because I keep seeing like San Francisco and like LA, like city, like the downtown and all that. I don't really like those areas. Um, and at least in San Francisco, what I liked is I don't know. Have you been? You've been,
I've
right?
been, but not in a long time.
Okay, so like for me, I feel like there's a lot more like green and like nature
Lots of
and like
parks, right?
yeah, there's a lots of parks there. And you for and I get like some people say it's like really close in, which it is.
Hmm.
It seems really small. But I like the fact that you can like very much like feel like you're not in the city anymore. When you like go to these parks, you
Yeah.
feel like you're much more in nature. And that's why I really liked it. Here it's also pretty cool. Like I like where I'm at too because I'm not too close to the city, but
Hmm.
I'm also like not too far from it. Um, so I don't know if I really like cities that
Hmm.
much. I like more nature. Like
That's
I
fair.
like more like seeing the green and the nature and like the
Real.
forest and all that stuff. Um, I've seen like the suburbs because my friends live like that. And it's interesting. I always get an interesting vibe when I like see like the suburbs because I'm like of how everything looks so similar
Oh,
sometimes.
so you don't like it?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Because I'm kind of like, it looks cool. I like that there's a lot of parking spaces.
So, like, if you moved to San Francisco, where would you live?
Where would I live?
Yeah.
Um,
If money were not an object.
where would I live? I'm trying to think of an area that I really, really liked. I liked I really liked like it's called I think like Sunset, which is basically like where all the beaches are.
Hmm.
And there's like parks there too. I also would like to go like in the Mission, which is where like it's a lot of like basically where like all the Latinos and like
Oh,
everyone's there. Um, I just like how the environment is. There's a lot of art there and there's a lot of history there. Even though I'm kind of like I don't know. I mean, I would love more just like people from there to be there.
is San Francisco like a very young city? Because it's very progressive. So, is there like a lot of young people there?
Yeah, there is a lot of like young adults there. You can see them most for the most part always walking around, and a lot of people have like their pets and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so it's cool. It's cool seeing like a lot of like young adults there. I don't know how it is now,
Hmm.
but yeah, you do see a lot of like young people there. I always go to like Dolores Park,
Hmm.
and you see a lot of people there, like from different ages there, and just hanging out, chilling with their friends. Um, maybe somewhere around there. I
Hmm.
for sure want to live somewhere where there's a big park.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's where I would want to live, somewhere in San Francisco. But then again, I'm fine wherever in
Hmm.
there. Because I like taking public transportation there. I like how like I can take a bus or I can take a train.
It works really well up there.
Yeah, I really liked it. When I was on the train because I could like watch everything.
Yeah.
Like I really don't like driving.
Yeah.
I personally don't
Understandable.
like driving. Um and it's mostly because like when I'm driving I could look around, but
Yeah.
for the most part it's like I'm not really like seeing much.
Have you ever wanted to do that? Take a train to just the train be the trip? Because you know how some people take the train to like
Mm.
Alaska or to New York,
Yeah, yeah.
and they don't really get off. They just kind of take the train.
Yeah.
I think that sounds cool.
I want to try that.
Would you ever
I
do it?
actually want to try it.
Because I
Um
hear going up the Pacific coast up to like Oregon or
mhm.
Canada is a really nice trip.
Yeah, I've heard of
Uh,
that too.
so
Yeah. I
yeah.
want to try it. I for sure want to try it sometime.
Are any
Yeah.
of these comments other than the spam comment? What do they say?
It's a from Chris. It says rave baby. and then the other ones are like hot photo my sister. I don't know what that
It's a
means.
bot, I think.
I don't know what that means.
What's the last one say?
And then the other one's official Stevo, the Stevo El
Oh, it's
Homies.
Stevo. Hey,
Hey,
what's up,
what's up,
Stevo?
Stevo?
Good to see you. No, yeah, a train would be really nice because yeah, it sucks to drive. But the traffic is the worst in LA, so I figure, you
Yeah.
know, is traffic bad in San Francisco?
I think in some areas it is. I haven't really like driven much there. People say
Oh,
that
because
people
you
are
take the transportation
yeah.
all the time, right?
People say that they're the in San Francisco it's even like drivers are pretty crazy though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Um I never really experienced it. Well, also because the streets are really weird.
Oh, I get what you
Like
mean.
there's like usually I think like the merging is like really weird.
How often do you go? I feel like you go a
I
lot.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. Recently I haven't gone that much. I only go whenever like I have something going on
Or
or
there's like an
like
excuse to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'm just like I just want to go. I think this year I'm trying to think how many times I've gone. But I mean the most recent is going to be like in my birthday.
Mm,
I don't know if I'm actually going to go. I don't know yet if I'm actually going to San Francisco yet. I know I'm going to San Jose for
mhm,
sure. Um But I feel like I go pretty often.
mhm,
It's just like I have all my friends there. I still have my sorority sisters there.
mhm.
I'm still very um I participate a lot. I'm still very involved in my sorority
Would you
stuff.
say that everybody should join or explore a sorority slash frat?
I feel um I feel like yes, but not just like
Anyone?
frats. No, not just like sororities. I would
Yeah.
say like join a club. If
Um,
you feel like Greek life isn't for you,
mm,
try a club. I think that's what really helped me, especially being away from LA, was that I kind of was interested in my freshman year, and I didn't think I was ever going to join one for sure. I had only ever heard what you hear like on TV or like movies. And I kind of met these people. They were like roaming around like the dorms, and I don't know. They seemed what caught my eye for the most part was that they were multicultural. Like they were
yeah.
a multicultural sorority, and that's how I met some of like my good friends now. And then it kind of like fell through. I tried like 3 times
Mhm,
basically, and I was like, "This is gonna be my last time. Like I'm already gonna be a junior. I'm gonna go into my major classes.
mhm,
I'm probably not gonna have time for it." So my sophomore year, which was like spring 17, um, I tried out, which is the organization that I'm a part of now. And I always kind of recommend them, at least to try them out. Um, because I'm always the type of person to be like, at least you tried, right?
yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, like the what if of like
Yeah.
this could have happened, right? And even if Greek life isn't something you want to do, I for sure recommend joining clubs in school.
Mhm.
Um, I just recommend in general just being involved with like your college, because I think that's what makes your college experience a lot better.
Yeah, I didn't really do that. I feel like I want to go back to college and do that.
Hmm.
But I didn't really do that. I should
Yeah,
have. But I mean, I was commuting, so it's kind of like a
yeah.
little different. But uh, no, yeah, that's something I feel
Yeah.
like I should have done. But
Yeah, I always recommended it, and I mean, when we were at ESAT, well, already whatever. When we were in high school, um, one of our counselors, she had said that you should get involved on campus
yeah,
because if especially if you're a commuter, and it's been said that like there's statistics of like a lot of freshmen drop out because
yeah,
they don't feel connected, I guess, to
yeah,
like campus or whatever, and my counselor had recommended that, and I had also experienced it through my brother, my
yeah.
older brother. He also commuted
Hmm.
like from his college, and then he ended up dropping out.
Hmm.
um Also like the recession was happening, so
Hmm.
a lot more stuff was into it,
Hmm.
but he ended up like dropping out.
Hmm.
So when our counselor was like telling us this, I was like, oh, I see it. I saw it through my
Yeah.
brother. Like he didn't finish college. Like he wasn't, because he felt like he wasn't really involved with it. And so then that's when I went to college, still not thinking what I was gonna join. And then I just kind of found Greek life, and I love it. I have like basically like they're my forever friends, forever sisters. Like I'm always gonna have a lot of love for them.
That's interesting because
So
everybody who does Greek life, I remember I had a teacher, Keith Goodnews, even. everybody's like super like, nah, those are my ride or dies. Uh, what about it like cultivates that kind of friendship? Like what about the sorority life or frat life
Mhm.
makes it so we're like, nah, these are my ride or dies
Yeah,
forever?
I think it's just the openness. It's like
Mhm.
at least when I joined, I felt very comfortable with them.
Yeah,
They all seemed really cool. They all seemed like just welcoming. Especially like being in San Francisco and not seeing a lot of like me, like
yeah,
a lot of people who look like me, I guess. Um and kind of uh just like the overall experience of it, I think. Like we're all students. We're all
mhm.
there to graduate at the end.
So it's kind of like a
So
vulnerable
it's like,
setting.
yeah, so it's more of like it helps you be social. It helps you like also time manage because like it's not just about like joining a sorority. You also have to do a lot of work with it.
Oh, really?
Um and because we're like a national sorority, so we do a lot of like stuff, like events. It teaches you to do like all
Hmm.
those things, how to
Yeah,
be a leader, how to work with a team, how to do
yeah.
all those things, while also managing work and school. So it's a lot of like time managing and stuff. Um, I don't know. I mean, for me, my overall experience was really, really good.
Mhm.
And that's why I continue to be involved because I want whoever still comes in has like a similar experience as me. Like
Mhm.
they have a good experience.
Yeah,
And that's what I keep going back because I keep wanting to at least be there. I always tell them like I get it, like I'm far, but like I feel like I want that to also show you that no matter where I'm at, like you can still count on me
that's
to
pretty
like
real.
be there and
Yeah,
like help you out.
yeah,
I'm like I'm not a student anymore and I don't know like because I'm like I'm not in like biology or anything, but I can
yeah,
only give you
yeah,
recommendations
yeah.
of like what I knew when I was there.
No, yeah.
So it's kind of like those things of like I think for me also it was just like I didn't have sisters, I guess. Like I only
Mm.
had brothers.
Oh,
And it just gave me a lot more of like how to also communicate with like women and like how to be vulnerable cuz I wasn't very like open when I first joined.
so you
I
learn
was
a lot.
very hmm?
You learn a
I
lot.
learned a lot.
That's
Yeah, I
cool.
for sure learned a lot. My mom even saw it. She was like she's like you've become like really really social and you were always so quiet and like shy before. I still am like a little bit. But I do try to socialize a lot more
Mhm.
now. And it was cool cuz like it's it's um it's hard to explain it to like my parents sometimes cuz it's kind of like what
I
does
get
that
what you
even
mean.
mean kind of thing. Um and I think like in Spanish it's called like hermanidad or something like that. And I'm like and I'm always like, "Oh, I'm going to go see my sisters." And I always feel like they think I'm doing like a religious thing.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Which is I'm like I always think it's funny, but I tried to explain it to my mom. But I think she's like at first she was kind of like what is this kind of
Yeah,
thing? But then eventually when she started seeing how like it was impacting me
yeah,
in a positive way, she was kind of like, okay, like that's cool. Like that's
yeah,
cool to see like your growth too.
yeah. No, yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so yeah, so
Um,
I mean it's to each their own if they want to do it, you know. Um, I would highly recommend if you're in college though, you should join like a club or like an organization.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
it'll help you, especially like if you're new to campus, like meeting people, making new friends and stuff.
No,
So
yeah, I for sure.
yeah.
Like, I think that's another thing that I found interesting about this birthday. I think is that like I don't know. I feel like I look at 18, 19, 20, 21, right?
Hmm.
And I'm kind of like, wow, I really was a little kid. Not saying that I'm an old man or anything. I'm
Yeah.
still obviously very young.
Hmm.
But it's kind of like when I think about college, for instance, right?
Hmm.
I'm always like, I should have done that. Um, I don't know. It's just interesting. Not in a regretful kind of way,
Yeah.
just more in a people were right. And I was the one who was tripping. I feel like that's one if I had to say one thing that like changed a little bit
Hmm.
is I feel like I'm more receptive to advice. I feel like before, um, not that I wouldn't listen to advice, but just
You just be
didn't
like, uh
it
huh.
just didn't ring I don't know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. It
Hmm.
wasn't very it never really stuck. I
Hmm.
think maybe that's something about advice that you kind of have to live through it for it
Hmm.
to some people just have to learn like
Yeah.
the hard way.
Yeah.
Um but yeah. Yeah. So
I
that's just my 2 cents. But yeah.
mean, yeah, you just gotta. I mean, you can always just take it in. You don't have to like do those things, you
Oh
know.
yeah, for sure, for sure. It's just more like it's just interesting. So how do you feel?
You're
26.
how
Do you feel more mature? I guess.
I'm getting there. I feel like I'm still learning a lot. I feel like I have been growing a lot to like kind of just stand up for myself. Especially in like these workplaces. For those who know, they know. um, and it's just like I've learned a lot more of like not taking people's bullshit anymore. At work or personal. Um, and I feel like it's a change that I've seen in myself of like, cause I probably would have like before I probably would have been like, yeah, like, sure,
Yeah,
I'll take it, whatever.
I get what you mean.
But now I'm kind of like, no, like this is bullshit. Like you shouldn't be treating like us
Hmm.
this way or whatever. Um, and I think now I've learned to like just stand my ground a lot more instead of just giving in. Um, and I think that's where I'm kind of maturing. I know for sure I still have a lot more to like do. Like I said, I'm still really young. I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah,
learning.
yeah,
And also just because I think I've been very dependent on my parents too.
yeah.
That I'm trying to like learn to kind of like let that go. Now it's more of like I want to teach them how to let go.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Because like I get where like I'm working on it, but I also have to have them kind of work on it or else like I'm not gonna get anywhere.
Hmm.
um, but I think it's more of like that kind of stuff. So I don't know, I feel really good. I feel like I've been very I mean I had my sad moments,
Yeah, yeah.
but I feel like I've been very like happy and like I've been trying to be a lot more positive. Like if y'all ever watched when we had like my birthday thing, I was like crying. But it was more cuz like I was letting go of like a lot of emotion and a lot
Yeah.
of like how I said and I've mentioned to you guys before, like I used to be just very sad and like very depressed. Um like, I was just, like, really always mad at the world for some
Hmm.
reason. Um, I still am sometimes,
Yeah,
just through, like, shit that just be going on in the world. But for, like, me just personally, like, I'm not as bitter or as mad anymore.
yeah.
And now I'm a year in since I've said that, right? And it has been a lot better. Um, I don't think it's gotten worse. I don't think it's also stayed in its own
Hmm.
same place. I think there has been some growth. And I hope to like this next year to like kind of like continue with it and
Sure. Well,
hopefully it gets better from here. I feel like it has been. I mean, even the beginning of this year was really, really, really hard, especially for me and my family.
mm,
So like I'm hoping that like at least ending this year and like me also turning 26 gets better for like me and
yeah,
my family.
yeah.
Um, but overall, spreading positivity.
That's dope. That's dope.
Overall, it's been positive. It's been good. I'm hoping to keep it that way, no matter what. And I think now I'm more aware of like, if some shit goes down, I know for sure that I have people there. I think a lot of it was getting reassurance from a lot of people and being like, you're not alone. Like you have people here, whether shit hits the fan or whatever happens.
Hmm.
And I think seeing that support system has gotten me to be like so positive and
Yeah.
all that because I know I have people that are gonna be there no matter what kind of
Hmm.
happens. Um, but yeah, it's been pretty good, you know?
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess it's trippy, right? Because my mom had me when she was 30, and
Mhm.
it's like, well, I'm getting close, you know.
Yeah.
And then my dad had my older, or he became a father, and he was like
Mhm.
17. So I don't know, kind of a weird limbo, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
it's weird for you because your
Yeah.
mom had your older
I
brother
think
when
my
she was
older
young.
brother when she was, like, 19.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was
it's
really,
it's
really
kind
young.
of trippy,
Yeah,
right? Because it's
yeah,
like, now I'm their age. Weird.
yeah.
But yeah.
But cause like, I think my mom had 19, yeah. Um, cause I remember when I was 19 and my parents would ask me that, and they'd be like, "When are you gonna get married?" And I was like, "Bro, what?"
Yeah.
They were
Right.
like and then they were like, "Your mom had your brother when she was 19." I was like, "No." I'm still just trying to
Yeah.
graduate from college. Um But yeah, I don't know, the thought of, like, kids do you wanna have kids?
Yeah, but not for a long time. I feel
Do
like
you have, like, an age for yourself
I
or
feel
no?
like for me, I don't want them in my 20s. I feel
Mhm.
like I agree with people when they say that like your 20s are supposed to be like they're not supposed to be anything. They're supposed to be where you mess up and
Mhm.
try a bunch of things and fail.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with having a kid, but I feel like trying a bunch of things and failings is a little harder to do if you have like a mouth
Mm.
to feed, you
Mhm.
know? So that, or I hope at least I have the finances to
Yeah.
support a kid because these days, man, you know,
That
uh,
shit's expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Do you want kids?
I don't know anymore. I feel like
Fair.
I feel like yes, but then there's times where I'm like no. The no is mostly from the part of like I don't know how my body's going to react.
Oh.
I've heard like stories and stuff. I mean, I feel like my mom is fine, which I feel like I'll be fine.
Yeah.
If I'm just like looking at examples, like she had three of us, like
Yeah.
she's pretty fine. I think I
Yeah.
haven't really asked her that much,
If she's
but
okay. Yeah.
but I'm assuming she seems fine. Um, and I think it's just like I know for sure I want to have them sometime like in my mid 30s probably or like
Yeah.
later.
Because I feel like I hear a lot of people say like, "Oh, I want a kid when I'm like 27 or something." I'm like, that's like right around the corner. I don't know
Bruh, I used
if
to say I was gonna be married and have kids by 25.
no, you're right? Because now I'm like, I don't know if I'll have my shit together by
Yeah.
then. I know everybody's always like, "Oh, well, you're never ready," but I feel like, come on, like I can at least have a job or
Yeah.
something, you know?
I said
Um,
that when I was like 14.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess in that's another thing that's trippy.
Mhm.
22. I always I know this sounds funny, but I never really thought I'd be 22. Not because I thought anything bad had happened. I just was like, when you're a kid, I never imagined that far.
Mhm.
I was thinking like, oh, I'll be grown when I'm 18, 19, and maybe 20.
Yeah.
But now 22, I'm like, oh wow, I never really imagined this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's a little trippy because I don't feel as different as I thought I'd feel, you
Mhm.
know? But yeah.
Yeah. I guess going back to your question, I don't really feel like super like adult yet. Cause like if I'm thinking of like when I was 14 and I said 25,
Mhm.
I was like, I would think that's an adult, right?
Yeah.
But now being in it, I'm kind of like,
Uh,
I don't know. I
I
still
don't feel
feel,
yeah, I still feel like a
I
little
still feel
kid.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how I told you, like you're 2 years into like your 20s. This
Yeah.
is barely like, gonna be my sixth year, I
Yeah.
guess.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's how I kind of see it.
No, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the whole kid thing though. Um, I guess it's kind of like if it happens, it happens. I hope it happens for sure. When like how you said, like I for sure want to have like a set on career already. Um, at least my career. Like I have a good job that that I am able to like have a kid.
Mhm.
Whenever that is, sometime in my 30s. Hopefully. And even then, maybe just one. I don't know.
No, yeah, for
I always
sure.
had it's funny too because I always feel like I wanted like five, and now I'm kind of like no.
No, yeah. I mean, I have five brothers, including me. There's six of us.
Hmm.
There's six of us. So I've always wanted a big family.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to ask because like I'm not doing any work. But
Yeah.
for you, yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
it's
No, yeah, because I've seen like videos and stuff of like shit that just
yikes,
happens and
yikes.
like with your health. The one that for sure I guess scares me is like the postpartum, like the depression
Depression.
and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I hear that's pretty bad.
Yeah, because I feel like I kind of saw it with like when my nephew happened.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, with your
and like
sister-in-law?
yeah, and like I don't know. It's just like it's interesting when you actually
But
see it
what
happen.
what what is postpartum depression? Like they just get depressed, or is there something specific that they get depressed
I
about?
think it's I think it just I don't know if it's like very different for like each like person, or like if there's like a center thing, but
Mhm.
I know for sure for some it's usually like sometimes they don't feel connected to their kid.
Oh, really?
Like there's just like just emotions of like sadness that just goes on. Some people don't feel like connection to their kids. Some people are just like just I feel like some people are kind of sometimes like mourning the fact that they're like mothers, that they went from like non-mothers to being mothers. Um, Other stuff I don't really like know much too into it. I've only like seen well like a
Well,
little
because
bit
it
of it.
changes your body a
Yeah,
lot
it
too,
changes like
right?
your
So I'm sure
body,
there's
like your
probably
hormones,
yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. Um, what else? I'm trying to think of like something else, but I can't think of like other stuff. Um, it just like sounds like it's
I
just
mean,
weird because it's like you would think I don't know,
no,
but
I
you
get
would
what you
think like
mean.
it's like a you're happy,
You would think
you
that's the
birth,
easy part, right?
yeah,
That
but it's
like,
kind of like
yeah.
there could be like after effects and
Hmm.
stuff. I always like the idea of like pregnancy. Like
Yeah.
I like seeing like the child, like the pregnant women, and like I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We can carry life, right? It's just like the shit that your body's gonna go through
Yeah.
though, and like just like giving birth in general is like you could also possibly like die from like
Yeah.
childbirth,
Yeah.
you or the kid,
Yeah.
either one or both.
It's pretty risky, right?
Yeah, it's pretty risky. It's also like what else is there? There was something else. I can't I was just about to say it, but I forgot. But it's just like there's like multiple things. There's one that I've been seeing recently, which like I was like, what the fuck? Um that supposedly like I guess when you breastfeed or whatever the fuck, I guess like your nipple can like fall off or some shit like
What?
that. Yeah. Cause
Nah.
like cause I guess like sometimes like I guess when like kids like are on it or whatever, sometimes it can be like if you do it multiple times, like that shit's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
So I guess for like some people, it's just like it gets like swollen, or it just like there's this lady who was saying that that hers was just turning like black and like white, and it just fell off. And then some people say that you can immediately like put it back and it'll attach
What
back.
the fuck?
I don't know how true that is, but like I just saw it
That's
somewhere.
that's pretty scary.
And then it's funny because like there's this girl that you'll see like either on Twitter or on
Yeah.
TikTok, she'll add more to the list of like why not to have a baby. And like she
Oh,
has like a
really?
whole shit ton
Yeah.
of stuff. Um and it's just like just other stuff of like just that happens with your body and
No,
stuff.
yeah, for sure.
Like when people are saying like you get ripped or some shit like that, and like they have to sew you back on.
Oh, yeah, they pull through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Um
horrible.
there's like shit ton of things.
You
Um
could have to get a
but
C-section, and that's
yeah,
probably horrible.
there's that too. Um but yeah, I mean, I always look at it from like my mom and like how she was. But again, she was really young.
Did she do
So I don't
epidural?
know.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I don't know. People can also get allergic reactions to
Oh,
epidural.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Some people can. I've seen one where like a girl had like kind of like an anxiety attack on it. Or she was just having like an allergic reaction to
She
it.
couldn't.
She had it already. Like
Oh,
they had
wow.
already given it to her.
No, yeah. If I was
Um
a girl, I don't think I could do it.
I don't know. It's just really scary. It's cool, but it's also scary
Would you be
to
mad
like
if your man isn't there, like while you're having giving birth? Because I feel like I'm extremely squeamish. I feel like I'd faint. I'd be like, no, I
I
can't
mean,
see
it's
this.
happened, right?
Yeah,
It's happened before where guys faint, right?
yeah.
Um,
Because it looks so brutal. Like I like no, don't get me wrong. Like it's beautiful life, all this
you can
stuff.
also poop also
Yeah, no, because
when
I
you're giving
remember
birth. That was the first one that I found out, the pooping
I
one.
had heard that that could actually be bad for the baby too, because the baby can like inhale it or something like that, because it's like
uh,
trying to get a breath. So it's like
damn.
I don't know. It sounds like a lot of bad
I
things can
mean,
happen. You
I
know?
mean, at least from what I know, of like from when my mom gave birth to me, her water broke, and I basically was in her. I didn't have water, like she didn't have water
Oh,
anymore. So I guess that was bad because it was like I was just in
right.
there and I didn't have like anything, for like a good amount of hours.
Yeah,
So when I came out, they put me on the what do you call them? The incubator? Is that what it's called?
yeah,
Or whatever it
yeah.
is?
I get what you're saying.
They left me in there. So my mom didn't even take me home. I was in the hospital for a whole week
Oh, really?
after she gave
Wow.
birth to me. Yeah.
So she
Um
couldn't. Did she have to go home while you were just at
cuz I
hospital?
think it was something that they told her that like she wasn't ready like to push me out, but she had already
Oh,
lost all her
so
liquids.
they had to.
So I had to like they were
Yeah,
like, so then how does she
yeah,
come out kind of
yeah.
thing. But I think it was still like you have to wait like a certain thing
Ugh,
or something like that. Don't quote me exactly.
yeah.
But um basically yeah, so then that happened. And then they had told my mom that I was possibly either going to be blind or deaf because of like because I was in
Oh, really?
she didn't I didn't have fluids anymore.
Do you have bad hearing or bad vision?
No,
No,
well, hearing like, but I say that's more of
because
like
you get
I listen
raised.
to
Yeah,
loud
yeah,
music. But like no, I'm perfectly fine.
yeah.
But they were just saying that that was a possibility because
I'm
of
sure
like
that
what
sucks
happened.
if you're a mom and then they're
Yeah,
like,
because she tells me that she used to tell me like, yeah, I used to go to the hospital and like I would just start crying because I couldn't take you home.
yeah,
And then the nurse would be like, no, she's okay, like she's healthy, we just
yeah,
need to like keep her here and
yeah,
just like observe her. But yeah, that's what happened with me, and I was kind
yeah.
of like, fuck, like,
I feel like I'd be worried I get the wrong baby. Like, how do I know it's my baby,
bruh,
right?
no, don't even
Yeah,
say that.
yeah, yeah. But you guys look exactly alike, so I'd be like, ah,
I
well,
don't know. I
yeah,
don't know, bro. No, just
yeah.
kidding.
um, so how do you feel about Thanksgiving? Do you do anything, or are you like, fuck, colonizers?
Bruh. I always say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, it's just like us having like dinner or like lunch, I
Pretty
guess.
real. Most people just do that.
Um I think it is more of like the whole thing of like, yeah, fuck the history on it. At least for me.
I
I feel
guess,
like my
yeah,
parents don't really like care or
yeah,
like really know. I think for them it's just like a holiday, a vacation day.
yeah, exactly.
Um I
Makes a
think
big.
for us too, we don't ever really have dinner as much
Mm.
like together as a family. So we use this day to actually like come together and have dinner.
No,
Um
yeah, for sure.
we have like our own spin-off where we do like our tamales or whatever.
Are they turkey tamales?
No, I think we do like chicken, I want to
Oh,
say. Um,
are you
but
team
my
red
dad,
or team green?
I do green.
You're a green tamale.
Yeah.
I like
I
red
like
tamales.
green. I like green.
Yeah.
But I'm also very biased because
Yeah.
like my favorite color is green.
So you only like come on.
No, honestly, when I was little, the only reason I would ever get anything green was
Just
because
because
it
it
was
was
my
green.
favorite color.
Yeah.
So
Be
like
real.
the salsa, I would always get salsa verde. Now I've tried to eat like the roja, but for the most part I'll do verde. Even with the tamales, my mom would be like verde or roja, and I'd be like verde, and then I would just eat those. I'll still like if there's red ones, I'll eat them.
Mm.
But it's because like in certain people when they make their tamales, the green ones are usually chicken, and then the red ones are usually
Pork or
like
beef,
pork
right?
or beef.
Yeah.
I don't really like pork or beef.
Oh.
I'm not really a red meat kind of person. I like white meat. So that's why I would always get
Mm.
verde
You like
too.
white meat? Come on. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
Wow. Chicken, bro,
no, yeah. I
chicken.
feel like yeah. I feel
um,
like fuck colonizers, right? But I guess I like the concept of like being thankful.
mhm.
That's cool. Getting some time off. That's cool.
So what do you
Um
think we should learn from at least today?
I don't know. Do people say Happy Turkey Day because they don't want to call it Thanksgiving, or is it just like because they're being fun?
I don't know.
Because I thought that's what they're
Maybe.
doing, like Happy Turkey Day, because
Yeah.
like
It's about the turkeys now.
yeah.
It's about
Um,
eating
no,
dinner.
yeah, I feel like it's cool if you're like, I'm just gonna be thankful. I like that concept, but I get why some people are pretty mad these days about it, right?
Yeah. I remember, was it last year? No. It was probably before like pandemic. There was like a time when people were like, fuck Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Um I mean, I don't know if it's been that way all the time, but I remember seeing it for a good year where it was like people saying that. And a lot of people were saying like, I get it. But a lot of it is just like it's a lot more family stuff, like
yeah,
family, just
yeah.
like
Because
coming
that's why I'm
together.
always like, I feel like it's evolved. I feel like it's not really. I mean, I remember as a kid they'd teach you about that and
Yeah.
the pilgrims
Well,
and
in
shit.
school, in
Yeah, and
school.
you fucking have to like
Yeah.
color the shit. But I feel like nowadays I don't really
It
feel that
always I
need to
always
do
think
that
of
stuff.
what is it? The Adams Family when they do like the the Thanksgiving
Yeah.
one and then they burn everything. I always think of that because Wednesday is like one of the, like the natives or whatever, and she like starts burning everything down. I think that's how it goes. Like I don't really remember it.
No, yeah, but
But that's why you gotta have your hat here.
yeah, I don't know if you can see it on
What does it
camera,
say?
but it says you are on native land, which is true. We are on native land.
So if people eat their turkey today, that's what they should remember.
Yeah, yeah, right. Right. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I said, I feel like I agree. Fuck colonizers. I get why people are a little upset about it.
Mhm.
Not even a little bit upset. I get why people are upset.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's evolved a little bit. I
Mhm.
feel like people are more into their family and the food and shit and the
Yeah.
memes and all that stuff.
The
So
memes.
yeah, well, because everybody talks about like like when the food's bad, right?
Oh
Or
yeah,
they
you
push it
flew.
down. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. So that's fun about it. But and I think it's cool to tell people you're thankful for them. That's cool.
Mhm.
Plus, I feel like sometimes my birthday lands on Thanksgiving, so I'm a little biased, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, why? Why?
Well, because Thanksgiving is the last Thursday
Mhm.
of November, so every once in a blue moon, it'll be my birthday.
Mhm. And you don't like that, or you do?
No, I if anything, I'm more like, oh, come on, Thanksgiving's not so bad, because it's my
Because
birthday.
it's your birthday?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
No, yeah, for
Aw.
sure.
Do you guys do anything?
Nah, not really.
No?
Mostly just cook, make food, but we never really go anywhere, and no one really ever comes over. Most of my family lives pretty far, or they
Mhm.
all have families of their own already.
Yeah.
So pretty rare that we do like the movie
Mhm.
Thanksgivings. Mostly it's just like my mom will make a ham, and I'll
Mhm.
be like, all right, that's about
Yeah.
it. But
No, yeah, for us too. I don't think we normally like invite anyone.
yeah,
Like my mom, her siblings, one's in Mexico and one's in Nevada. Um, and then my dad's siblings, only one of them is like pretty close by.
yeah,
They'll usually come by, just because of like family stuff. Like
no,
usually
yeah,
they'll be like, we want to be together as a family. But for the most part, it's always just us. Like,
no, yeah. I
yeah,
feel like well, another thing that's cool about it is the streets are empty. Everybody, I guess some people celebrate, right? Because
yeah,
nobody's ever here on
yeah,
Thanksgiving. But yeah.
yeah. So I was like, the only spin is the tamales. My dad makes the turkey.
Mhm.
My
You
dad
make
cooks.
tamales on Thanksgiving? I thought it was a Christmas thing.
It's tamale season, bro.
Oh, it's a season. It's not
Yeah,
a day.
it's like
Um,
it's like tamale. I'm gonna have tamales Christmas and New Year's.
Really? Yeah. I For me, it's usually just Christmas. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we usually have them. Well, cause I don't like turkey.
Yeah.
Um, so my mom will make like tamales, and then I'll just eat like tamales and like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Pretty real.
I'm getting hungry, but
Pretty real. Pretty real. Pretty real. Do you like the sweet tamales?
no,
You don't like sweet tamales?
no.
I feel like I'm
What
the only one
sweet
who likes them.
tamales?
You don't like
I
them?
don't know.
I feel like sometimes they're
I
pretty good.
I don't know because it's like combining sweet sometimes with
Well,
like
because it's like it becomes the masa becomes like sweet bread, you know. So
yeah.
I'm always like, it tastes pretty good. I get why people don't like it, but I feel like the masa tastes good sometimes.
Well, like my brother, he likes the cheese ones, the ones that just have cheese. It's like a tamale and then it has
I've had the
a
ones that are
cheese
cheese and they
meat.
put like a chile inside.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's
the
fun.
rajas one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the sweet ones.
Mm,
There's something about it that I'm kind
Nobody
of
likes
like.
them. Nobody likes them. Everybody asks is always like, ugh.
I'll tell my mom to make you at least like
No,
four.
because the ones I've had, right? Some people put like pineapple or they put like raisins and shit. I get why people don't like that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
feel like when they put like cinnamon and shit in the masa, it tastes pretty good. Like the masa itself.
No,
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 come
miss,
on.
miss.
No,
I don't know because I feel like I'm more of a spicy person with my
pretty
food.
real. Pretty real.
That like sweet food, I guess, is not
You never
really
been a
like.
sweet? You never had a sweet tooth, really?
I have like candy, like chocolate,
Yeah, but
but
not
in
like
my
food.
food,
Food.
no.
But
I'm trying to think. I'm
is
trying
it
to think.
mole? Mole is not sweet.
It's more
I've never had
It's
mole. I've never
spicy.
had mole.
It's like spicy and like
Because
there's
it's
a little
chocolate, no?
sweet. Yeah, it's chocolate. But it's at least the way my mom makes it.
It's
It's a
more
lot more
spicy.
spicy. There is like a sweetness to it, but it's
It's just a
like a
hint.
savory,
I get
like
what you
it's
mean.
like a I don't know how to explain it, but
It's not the same as
it's
a
not
sweet
the
tamale.
same.
Yeah,
It's not like overly like
I get what you
because it's
mean.
like I don't know what is it, a sweet tamale? I feel like it's just sugar, like
I feel like
I
they're good sometimes.
don't know.
Um,
Maybe that was me when I was a kid.
fair, fair.
Maybe I should try it again as an adult.
No, yeah, I definitely I understand for sure why people don't like them, but it seems like nobody likes them as of now. I'm like,
I mean, people make them, so there
yeah,
has to be
there has to
people
be
who
good,
likes
right?
them. Yeah, you're not the only one. You're not by yourself.
No, yeah, for sure. What are you thankful for this year, Julie?
What
What are
am
you
I
thankful
thankful?
for? Yeah,
Damn, I'm thankful for a lot of things.
yeah.
I guess the regular schmegular, my family and my friends.
Regular schmegular, pretty real.
The same thing, my friends,
Yeah.
my family, my pets. My pets are still around.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of stuff. I'm thankful for, I guess, like us being here and like doing the show.
No, yeah, because I feel like
Um,
that's one thing I fuck with Thanksgiving is that aspect of things. Because I feel like when you sit back and you start think about like shit that's good in your life, you're like, it's not so bad. It could
yeah,
be a little worse, you know.
yeah.
Like, I'm over here complaining while I got a show, you know. You know, like you know what I'm saying.
Bruh.
I'm over here complaining and I got like 3 meals a day, whatever I
Mhm.
want. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So that's cool.
yeah.
Let's see, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for the show. I'm thankful for all of our fans and our listeners and our viewers. I'm thankful for
Mhm.
everybody at the IE. They're so lovely to us. We
Hearts,
love
hearts
them.
everywhere.
Vanessa, Saul, all them. You should go check out their shit. And
Yes.
for the TGN, because we wouldn't have this if it wasn't for them.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Mhm.
Very thankful.
Shout out to all my friends, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, honestly, like even like how I said, like I met you. You remember Daniel?
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like the one who introduced us to all
True.
this.
True. Yeah. Thankful for him.
Shout out to Daniel if you're watching or whenever you watch.
Yeah.
I know you still watching us sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, shout out to him for sure. I'm always grateful to him, and like he's always been a good friend. He's been a good homie. He's out in the bay up in NorCal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm always grateful for like a lot of things that like I've experienced
Hmm.
and like just overall the lessons that I've learned through that. Um, hopefully I am a good person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. For
Hopefully
sure.
I continue to be a good person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just very grateful for all that. It's been a very great experience here. Um, and then I got to meet you.
Yeah, that's true. I
we
wouldn't
got
be.
to be
We wouldn't
we
be
got to be
friends. This
homies.
is the first time I've ever hung out, just me and her. So
Yeah, it
exclusive
has.
content here.
It's been wild.
It's been 22 years. I've known Steve since literally as long as I can remember. I've known him since
Y'all met
kindergarten.
what in kindergarten, right? So you
Kindergarten.
guys were like 4 and 5.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't remember meeting him, so I had to have known him a little longer than
Mm.
that.
Yeah,
And
because I always ask you guys like how you guys met, and you
I
guys
have
can't
no fucking
remember.
idea. I have no fucking idea. I just remember always kind of knowing him.
Hmm.
So in theory, I've always kind of known of you.
Yeah,
But it's the first time I ever hung out just me and you.
yeah,
Do you like it?
yeah.
Am I
It's been
cool?
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think I'll
Yeah.
hang out again without Steve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like the show's a little better without him.
Yeah,
Right? Right, guys?
I think so. What do
Yeah.
you guys think?
I feel like
Yeah,
it's a lot more chill, you
just
know?
just Jules and Brandon.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe, maybe.
Future show.
Future show, just us two, maybe.
Damn. It's because there's beef going on. Nah,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Nah, just kidding. Not yet.
Somebody's fighting here.
I
Nah,
know,
I'm just
right?
kidding.
Nah.
No,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it's been cool. You're pretty cool, Brendan.
Come on. You're cool too. You're cool too.
You're just saying that because I
Nah,
said
nah,
it. Nah, you're just saying that because I
nah,
said
nah,
it.
All right, that's why I'm saying it.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
No, yeah. Lots to be thankful about. Remember that. Hope so, right?
Dude, I actually have a question for you because I know
Go right
you
ahead.
and Stevie always wanted to do like directing. Is
Mhm.
that something that you always wanted to do, or
I
when
wanted,
did you know that you wanted to do that?
I wanted to be an actor first. I wanted to do
Oh,
acting, and I still kind of do.
mm-hmm.
That's kind of my goal with film is I wanted to be in them. Because I felt like it's an art. At least for me, it's an art, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I always wanted to be as involved with it as I can.
Yeah.
So like if I'm writing and directing, like that's part of it, but I also felt like I'm not like in it, you know?
Mm.
I'm not saying I have to be like the star or
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
but like, before that though, I wanted to be a paleontologist, which is dig up dinosaur bones.
Oh.
So my favorite movie is Jurassic Park because it's both
Yeah.
movie and dinosaurs.
Wow.
But yeah.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
already knew that though
Yeah, you
about
did
the
know that,
because
right?
of like your tattoo
Yeah, I
too.
have a dinosaur
That's
tattoo.
cool.
Shit. But
But
no,
I didn't
yeah.
know you wanted to be an actor though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I wanted to be an actor. I was originally gonna try to go to acting school. But then I got into Fullerton and I like the idea of learning how to direct and stuff. So
Mm.
I still want to do that, but I think I wanted to do all of them. So
When did it change for you that you wanted to do like act like being what is it
paleontology,
paleontology?
I just felt like I couldn't do that forever.
Mm.
I felt like I could do that, but I felt like I liked it more as like a hobby.
Okay.
I'd like to go back to school and study that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that I could make. I just don't think that I could be that. Like that could be my job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Yeah, I don't know why, but I just and then I always kind of gravitated towards movies. I thought that it'd be cool to act in a movie. I thought
Mhm.
it'd be cool. But yeah, and then afterwards, I kind of started thinking like, well, I want to act, but I more want to make my own shit, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like, yeah, that's how I got into wanting to be a director.
Mm. That's cool.
Yeah. What about you? What did you want to do when you grew up, or what
Um,
do you want to do?
when
Because
I
you
was
work in sports. Did you always
yeah,
want to
I
do that?
work in sports. Uh, Growing up, I wanted to be a vet. I
Oh,
wanted to
that's
work with
nice.
animals.
That's nice.
But then eventually I was like, nah.
Okay.
But I think for a good part, I didn't really ever know what I wanted to
Yeah.
do. Um, Eventually I knew that I really, really liked art. I really like drawing and like painting and
Hmm.
stuff. Um, the vet stuff, I don't know. I think it was a lot of things of like I want to be this, but I don't think I really want to be it.
I get
I
what
think
you
it was
mean.
just more of like I was just saying it because it
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah.
But I always also like how you like I always liked art. Like of anything, like whether it's music, whether it's like film, movies, all that stuff. Um, TVs, anything art. I
Mm-hmm.
basically like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so then I actually went into college like not knowing what I wanted to do. I went into college being a business major, I think.
Yeah.
Cuz that's what was recommended to
Yeah.
like just if you don't know what you want to do instead of putting undeclared put business. So I started doing that and then through there I kind of just started exploring like through my classes and stuff. I wanted to do like fashion designing.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I didn't really like the idea of like making clothes, so then I wanted to do merchandising. But at my school it was impacted, so it's like
Oh, so you didn't really get to focus
yeah.
on that.
But I took a class. I took a textile class, which is like a science class, which is where you learn about fabrics and like what works, what doesn't work with fabrics, the different types of fabrics and all that stuff. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it at all.
Oh,
I also just didn't like I guess the people. I think a
that's
lot of the
fair.
people were very like
Too competitive?
yeah, like very like fashionista and like you should be a
Yeah,
certain
I
way
get
and
what you
like
mean. I feel like
all
in
that stuff.
when I went to school, people were a little bit like that, where
Mhm.
they'd be like, "Oh, you haven't seen this movie by this director?" And it's like,
Yeah.
"No, I fucking haven't, because nobody's seen that movie."
Yeah,
You
and
know?
it's
So I
like, "You
get
don't
you.
know this designer?" Or
Yeah,
like, "Blah, blah, blah," and I'm kinda
it's
like,
yeah,
"Bro, what?" Okay, whatever.
yeah.
And I mostly just I took it personally because I wanted to see, like, if it was something that I was gonna like, and I
Mm,
guess from that experience, it kind of were just like,
yeah.
"Nah, I don't think I wanna be in this industry." And so then I kept, like, going around. I eventually liked the idea of advertisement,
Mm,
of, like, design with, like, advertisement and all that, but my school didn't offer it, so I went
mm,
into marketing.
mm,
I But then it was still business marketing. I hate math.
mm.
I suck at math. I earlier said this. I suck at math. And I was gonna take a shit ton of like math classes,
Oh,
for that major,
yeah.
and I was like, no, like I took like like what is it like economics? There's like two different versions. There's macro and then there's micro. I think.
Hmm.
I barely passed one with a B and one with a C. And I was having such a hard time. And I was like, I can't be in this major.
Yeah.
And then eventually that's when I discovered my major, which is recreation, parks, and tourism administration. And then I found out that you can emphasize in event planning. And then that's when I was like, you know what? I always wanted to do I also was really interested in wedding planning. So then I kind of like went into that and I loved it. I love
Mhm.
my major. I love my department. And that's why I kind of like
So you'd like
do
to be a wedding
events.
planner or an event planner?
Yeah, I always wanted to do weddings. But right now I like just doing events in general.
That's cool.
I just like doing any types of events.
Do you have a
Um
goal of like an event that you want to plan? Like, even if it's not for money. Like, would
an
you ever want to
event.
plan like a
I want to
party or
do
something?
I really want to do a concert.
Mm,
I wanna know what it takes to, like, plan a concert and, like, do all those things. Like, I've been looking into, like, especially, like, for EDM, like, Insomniac and, like, if
yeah.
they're ever hiring and, like, if I can ever, like, volunteer to, like, find out how they do their events.
Mm,
Cause like, I don't know, for me, I love concerts and, like, the shit that goes into it, like how I mentioned, like the Bad Bunny shit, like that shit was blowing
Mhm.
my mind.
Mhm.
I was like getting blown. I kept looking like everywhere because I'm like, just like the way everything has to be set up, especially when they use like the bracelets of
Mhm.
like what goes into that. Who invented that?
Yeah.
Like to like sync with like the music and like all that stuff. Like I know there's a lot that goes into it. And I just kind of really I'm really interested on like how everything is set up and like
Mhm.
how everything is kind of done. I know that shit takes a lot though. Um which I'm kind of like I'm down. I'm down to find out.
Mhm. Yeah. That's cool.
But I think that's like the biggest thing lately that I've been like super interested is like maybe someday setting up a concert for like an artist
Oh, that's
or
really
like a
nice.
plan or something. Um I don't know, and just like it just mind blows me every time I go to a concert and I'm like how the fuck
And you
did
want
they
to be
do
involved
this?
in that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Um
Have you ever thought about being a producer?
yeah. Well, I have
Mm.
cuz Stevie told me the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
He's like you should get into producing and I
Yeah.
was like, "But I don't know like what does that mean?"
It's
Like
it's like it's budgeting, right? It's more
Mhm.
like it's like budgeting and planning for the movie, like
Mhm.
locations and like
Mhm.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like let's say they want to shoot a scene somewhere and you're like uh, it's kind of your job to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, "Oh,
Okay.
you're
Mhm.
and you making sure things shoot. You're kind of like,
Yeah.
a manager,
Yeah.
so I think you'd
Yeah,
like it. That
not until recently. Honestly, when we started doing this and then I started working at like my jobs,
yeah.
that I cuz I there's one job where I kind of do have to like set up and kind of like work behind the camera. And kind of like here like when I had to set
Hmm.
up for the show and
Yeah.
stuff. So I started getting a lot more into like I guess the production of
Hmm.
things.
Yeah.
Which has like opened a lot more stuff. That's why I say like wedding is like something that I like want to do, but I think I also want to explore what I have right
Yeah.
now. I'm like I feel like I've been giving a lot of like good opportunities that I'm kind of like I want to explore that and see how
That's
far I
cool.
can get with it.
You should.
Like with this with the jobs that I have.
Hmm.
I want to see like I already did one wedding. I coordinated one.
Hmm. Oh, really?
I wasn't like the planner, but I helped
Yeah.
coordinate
Yeah.
it. And that was cool. It was a lot of like work and stuff. And now I know like how much it takes and what I need
Hmm.
if I like I'm gonna need a team for sure. Like I
Hmm.
can't do it by myself.
Yeah.
Um but experiencing it was really, really nice. Just to see a little bit of it. I don't think it's like super stressful just because of like things that I've gone through
Hmm.
in the work life now. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where I kind of end up on that. And working in sports is really cool. I mean, you get to see like the behind of everything
Yeah.
of like what goes into like
Like,
eventually
yeah.
like the what goes into like if you're in the arena and like what you kind of experience when you're at the stadium or
Hmm.
at the arena. Kind of like those things, which is really, really cool. Cause I always get the compliments of like what you guys are doing is here is really, really cool and like just the experience,
Yeah.
like the overall feedback when
Yeah.
people are like, "This is really cool." Like
Yeah.
that, I'm glad that you guys throw these events.
Hmm.
And I think that's also really cool to hear because it's kind of like
You like
that's
hearing
kind of
that
like my
people. You like hearing that people had a good experience.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's always been like my goal is that like these events I always get that they're for people. Like it's not for me to
That
experience,
they
it's for
have a
other
good time.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes me like happy about it is that as
Cool.
long as that they have a good time and a good like memory of it, like that's basically like I did it. Like
Hmm.
I did something good, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
Um so that's kind of like why I like events.
Yeah.
Cuz it's more for like them to like experience and have a good time. And that's what I like doing. I
That's
like doing
cool.
that. I like doing I think that's like my favorite part of it. Right now I'm doing in sports. Who knows if I'll eventually do like in a different industry.
Yeah.
I want to. I want to
Yeah.
experience that. I've said it like I basically just grew up not knowing what I wanted to do. And I still feel like I kind of don't know where I fully just want to stay and stick
Yeah.
to. But I think that's why I'm living, I guess, my years of
I
being
get what you mean.
20 too
To experiment.
is to experiment and see like if I like this.
Yeah.
Like how I said in college, I experienced the fashion thing and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And now I'm experiencing the sports stuff and we're gonna see how far
How
it goes
far it
with
takes
that.
you.
I have backups for sure of like what else I want to do because of my major.
Hmm.
Like I do rec and park, like I can
Hmm.
work for the city and stuff. and I have that experience too. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I've worked for the city of San Francisco. So there's a lot of things that I've explored, and I really recommend that to a lot of people to just explore, see what you like, what you don't like,
Yeah.
because then that way you'll know. And I'm here to tell you that you'll know for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
because I've experienced
Yeah.
it. So it's been cool. It's been cool. So we'll see
Oh
how it
yeah. If I
goes.
ever
We'll
make
see
a
where I
show,
end up.
if I ever make a film, I'll hire you as producer.
Wow,
If Steve
Christ.
doesn't do it first. Yeah.
I was like, can I just be an extra somewhere?
No, yeah.
I don't know how to
I
act,
always thought that was cool.
but
I feel like I do that for sure. Is people I like, I'd be like, oh, you want to be an
a
extra?
cameo.
Yeah. Like I feel like that'd be funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and then hopefully with this too, I'm hoping that like a lot of good things with this
Yeah.
too.
No, yeah.
With
This
us.
podcast has grown a lot than I ever. Not that I ever thought it would be bad. I just in my mind, I never really thought it'd get to where it is now. You know.
Mm.
But it's
It's
part of
been
why I'm so
cool.
thankful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
been
for
cool.
TGN, IE, again, they're so nice to us.
They're cool.
They're really cool.
It's cool the connections that we've been building here.
Yeah.
So
Everybody, we met a lot of cool people. So
yeah,
did
it's been
we?
fun.
We just met them this year, right?
Yes, we
Wow.
met them like in March,
No, we met them at the
April.
podcast pit, right?
When was that? That was
That was
April,
in that no, that was in
May.
summer. That was like
It was May.
June, July.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Right? No, seriously. Yeah. I know.
Damn.
Seems like forever.
I thought it was like earlier this year.
No, yeah, it was like a
Damn.
couple months ago. Really not that long ago.
Wow.
Um,
Damn.
but
Life has been crazy,
yeah,
bro.
it
It's been
has
cool
been.
though.
Yeah,
It's
it
been
has
cool.
been cool.
It's been
It has
good.
been cool. Not to be thankful for. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of just me and Julie.
Hmm.
If you did, maybe there'll be more. Who knows? You know?
Chris said y'all can have a spin-off show.
Yeah. What would we call it?
I don't know yet. Come up with one right now. Can you?
I don't know.
The JB.
Yeah, maybe. Or BJ. BJ.
Bruh.
But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody who commented.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next week, hopefully
Yeah.
with Steve.
Yeah.
But have a happy
There's
Thanksgiving.
beef. No, I'm just kidding.
If you celebrate it. Yeah.
Nah, we're just kidding.
Fuck up that food while you're watching our show.
Yes.
But see you guys next week.
Yeah. See y'all next time. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram
Yeah.
and TikTok at Primos Chidos Radio Show.
Mhm.
Also, make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're now going to be filming at our Primos Chidos. I know some of us are at still TGN Latinx, which I still linked. So
Yeah.
shout out to TGN Latinx.
Mhm.
But make sure y'all tune in to our new YouTube channel. At Primos
Subscribe,
Chidos. Subscribe, please. Leave comments if you're watching this later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Happy Turkey Day.
Yeah. Happy Turkey Day. Happy everything.
Yeah. Hope to see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.